I still can't believe it's season 10. I've been saying that for 28 episodes. But we are here, season 10. It is March now, and it is Women's History Month. You should all know that. It is Women's History Month. So let's shine a light on all of the great work that women do all the time that don't often get credit for, and then let's just celebrate women all throughout this month and the rest of the year and for the rest of your lives. Why not? Today I'm in the virtual studio with DemBruceGals, and you may have seen them out in the world. There's actually 5 of them, but I'm here with 3 of them today, and they have been out in the world just celebrating their love of theater and sharing it with all of us. And I've been following them for a while now, and I said, I got to get you into the studio. I think it'll be a nice, fun chat. And then I found out that a couple of the Bruce gals are in my neighborhood, or I'm in their neighborhood. They've lived here for
Small
a while,
world.
and I've lived in this neighborhood. So it's so great. So I'm in the studio with them Bruce gals, and I'm gonna give them the chance to uh, introduce themselves, and we'll start with Tara.
Yes, it's good to start with me because I'm also the youngest. I am Tyra Bruce. I am the youngest of the 5 girls.
Okay, I'm Ella, and I'm one of the older ones. Um, yeah, Tara and I are actually housemates, so we have fun together all the time, all the time.
And I'm Nikki. I guess you would say I'm the wild card, but yeah, I'm one of them Bruce guys. I'm the fourth sister of 5.
All right, and somebody just had a birthday.
Woohoo! Birthday.
I had a fantastic birthday. And in tradition, of course, always making room for theater, we got to see the lovely Alvin Ailey
Mm,
company on my actual birthday. So that was so much fun. It was like the best time. Yes. But thank you for happy
that's
birthday to me.
happy birthday! Absolutely.
Yes.
So tell this isn't you're not a production, you're not you're not on our stages, but
You could
you
ask
are
some
in and
people,
around
they
and in
may
our
say
theaters. But I actually your social platform, you put effort into you know, showing us your journey, like getting to the space, or if you've seen a couple of shows for a while, you do a reel, and the reel is like, here we are, and then we're also here, and then we're over here, and we're doing this. Come join us, be
oh,
with us.
yes, yes.
Tell us
I
Please come
about
join us.
sorry, tell us about how you decide, like, when did your love for the arts get to this point where all of you said we need to make an effort to get out there and enjoy the art that's being presented together.
Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Good job.
Well, it started a I mean, I think all our lives we've always loved musicals. And I've always loved drama and everything. So I think that was just natural for me to gravitate and then bring the other sisters along. But, it could be expensive.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a lot of money. So I remember going to see we used to go on the church bus trips to New
Hmm.
York. We saw the original Dreamgirls on Broadway, so that's how we would get to New York. But we started going to Walnut Street because they had really cheap tickets. The last row in the theater were $10. So we
Mm.
would buy the $10 tickets and be on the last row of the theater, but we were there.
Yeah.
And so then we were like, okay, we missed some shows, so let's just subscribe.
Mm.
So we started a subscription so then we wouldn't miss any shows. So we did it for Walnut Street and then we also did it for the Academy. So it's been close to 20 years with
Hmm.
the subscriptions and then it just started getting bigger from that.
Great. The
I know
Take
walnuts.
that
Tara.
time.
I know Tara wanted to say something.
Oh yeah,
You
go
know,
ahead.
you know what I was thinking is that, and it started with musicals. That was the bigger part of it because that was our understanding and our love for music itself lent itself straight into the musical world. And so when my sisters Ella and Nicole for me were in high school, they got to do productions, and so I fell in love with it. but I kind of, like what Ella says, life happens and the cost kept me away from it. It wasn't until we got to start doing subscriptions that changed everything for how we consume the arts.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, we always try to shine a light on the many ways that you can engage in a conversation in theater. If there's a financial barrier, there's so many ways you can volunteer. You can get the first
Yeah,
preview ticket is always a very inexpensive ticket. In most
yeah,
cases, you can pay as little as $10 for
yeah,
a the first preview,
Yeah.
and but like being involved and then being out in the world, sometimes you get invites or you have a
yeah.
friend that you
So
know,
true.
and there's so many ways. And I don't think any theater is trying to turn people away from engaging in the conversation. So I'm pretty sure, and I will say this as my position as executive director of Theater Philadelphia, that you could probably call a theater and they will find a way to get you into the theater.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And that
Absolutely.
is very
And I
true.
was
That
just
just
gonna that was
recently
gonna be
happened.
my that was
Yeah,
my end, because like they were saying, life happens, and Tyra and Ella have been subscribers for many many years, and I wanted to tag along, but life was life, and I was a single mom with three sons, so the theater seemed kind of out of reach for me at that
Mm,
time, and they were the ones that turned me on to the $10 seats at the Walnut Street, and even at the Academy. I mean, I took three little boys to go see The Taming of the Shrew, and we sat in the nosebleeds for $10 a piece just to give them that
yeah,
experience. And culture should never be cost. It should never be a cultural barrier.
yeah.
So getting those access tickets for $5, $2, or what have you, it
yeah,
opened up many many doors. So you're absolutely
Mhm.
right.
Yeah,
yeah.
the access tickets are through Art
Art
Access.
reach. Yeah,
That's
Our
Art
reach, yeah.
Reach,
yeah,
and there's a little shout out for Art Reach. That yet
yeah.
another way to get your access to the arts, not just
Yes.
theater, but just many ways. I feel like we've been working so hard to make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity to be part of
Yes.
the conversation, which is so
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah. And what you
Um,
said is true. I didn't
mhm.
mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
thought about when you said about access and reaching out to a theater. That happened recently. There was a production. There is a production going on right now, Blues for an Alabama Sky, and Elle and I were interested in getting tickets. And I was like, the cost. We've been doing a lot of theater lately, so let's watch it. But I reached out, and they were like, unfortunately, we don't do that
Mm,
access, but
Mhm.
we should be. So one, thank you for reaching out to us. And two, let's do a discount right now. And that was the thing. So it doesn't really, whether you have access card or however you do it, there is a way. And reaching out was just as simple and easy. They were like, sure.
yeah. Absolutely. I was going to say earlier that the Walnut Street Theater and the Academy of Music, particularly the Kimmel Center or now Ensemble Arts, they tend to be the gateway in the region for as they start as a sort of an introduction to the arts. Um, Walnut Street Theater primarily produces musicals and
Yeah.
what we would consider like um, canon theater, and that's enough for people of all generations to remember or to be aware of a title that they're bringing to the stage. And
Absolutely.
but then once you get here, you see this like classic, uh a great example of a canon production, and then you say, what else is out there? and you
Exactly.
Mm,
and so you start to realize there's so many other theater companies and there's so many other genres that they focus on. There's everyone has their niche, and you start to find that. So talk about how your focus on the Walnut Street Theater and Ensemble Arts, let's say, um, you know then open the door for the rest of the companies that you now uh, experience.
so I always think about, for personally for me, was getting to know some of the local actors and
Hmm.
actresses and directors that were doing different productions. And then as I started following their journey, I started seeing other productions that they were doing. And then that totally opened me up to a whole different type of theater house, um, I guess even consuming, as opposed to just musicals. Then we're finding our way into musicals and workshops to see how these things even happen. So I
Hmm.
think that was for me. what opened it up, getting to know some of the other artists.
Yeah. And that's another thing that's really great about our community, the accessibility of the artists on our stage. Sometimes you're just like, I can't believe that the lead is sitting right here in the lobby talking to me, or like, that's the lead walking,
Yeah.
or taking
So
the
true.
bus,
Yes,
Yes,
and
yes.
so
I
on.
was
yes,
just
yes,
saying that
yes.
to Tyra and Ella that like I was telling you I had gone to sing Good Bones on Sunday
Hmm.
and how I saw Walter and Akeem and I'm like, I know them.
Hmm.
They're like family to me now. You know, we
Hmm.
see them out and about, we talk to them, we engage with them, and
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's Walter DeShields
Mhm.
Yes.
and Akeem Davis.
Mhm.
Yes.
Those in the
Shout out.
community know them, and we love them very
Yes.
Yes.
much.
Theater in the X and New Light Theater, those
Hmm.
other things that they
Yes.
do. I love all of it.
Yeah, and again, there's so many unique ways to experience theater in Philadelphia as well. Like you just mentioned, Theater in the X, who does an annual show. Well, they do shows throughout the year, but they do this
Right.
annual show in Malcolm X Park,
Yes.
and all you have to do is show up, bring a
Yes.
chair,
That's it.
That's it.
buy a new
And you're
T-shirt,
mine.
and you're wide. Yeah, it BYOB.
Yes, 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 yes.
And
And
it's
then
nice. And I
and
feel like
Shakespeare in the Park,
Oh yeah.
Shakespeare in the Park
mhm.
at
Oh
Clark
yeah.
Park,
Oh,
so
Clark
those
Park,
things are
yes.
Yeah.
free, you know, and it's just, for me, I'm very open, and I think we just have
Hmm.
to be more receptive to things, not just
Mhm.
the typical shows that everybody goes to, because there's so much talent. And this, I'm just speaking for myself, but there are things that I never thought I would really like Shakespeare. You know, I'm like, I think my favorite Shakespeare play is like Midsummer Night's Dream,
Hmm.
because it's comedy and everything, and I've seen it several times. So I'm like, I can follow that. But just so much now, what's being done with Shakespeare is
Hmm.
amazing.
Hmm.
So we saw Caesar, we saw Hamlet in at the PA Shakes
Yeah.
Festival.
Mhm.
So just everything, we just saw this show at Quintessence. So
Rare accidents.
And
Yeah.
even at Clark Park, we saw what Much Ado About Nothing. Was that what that
Hmm.
was?
Yeah.
and I also have to shout out Whitney White for Macbeth in Stride,
Mm.
Oh
because
Yes.
that
yes.
was amazing too. So people are just so creative, and just how it's not your mother's Shakespeare or your father's
Right.
Shakespeare,
Oh.
whatever. It's something that you can get into. So I think people just and try it. Even if you think you don't like it, you might. So that's
You
what we've
know.
been doing. We've just been trying everything. And I love stories.
Yeah.
So, if it's a different story, I want to hear it. I want to see it. I want to see how creative people can be. So that's what brings me to all the different theaters in the city.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what I love about it is, especially when I'm following you all on social media, I'm seeing that we're all gravitating to the same conversations.
Mm.
And so I
Yes.
feel like, okay, our fingers are on the pulse. We are
Yes.
engaging in the same things. We're having those experiences, and it's always good to just see, like, I'm not the only one. And of course, you go into the theater, and the house is full. Hopefully for the theater, the house is full.
Yes.
But you're looking around, and there's always somebody or there's
Yes.
somebody
That
who
part.
knows you,
Yeah.
and they're
Yes.
like, wait a minute, I've seen you around.
Mhm.
So
And so there's
true.
always a way to make a connection. So whenever I post online, I'll say, like, you can always find a friend in the
Yes.
Yes.
theater,
Absolutely.
and I'm
I
always
love
sitting
that.
next to somebody,
I love that.
somebody that we all love in the community.
Or you make a
That was
friend.
it's funny that because Gabe Moses,
Hmm.
I'm a Cheney student, and Gabe had done illuminating Ruskin at Cheney's library. And maybe about a month, 2 months later, we were sitting in the same row, and I out of my peripheral, I saw him. I was like, well, maybe I know a man, maybe I don't. And he grabbed me, he was like, hey, you go to Cheney. I was in illuminating. I was like, oh my God. So you
Yes.
see these people, and even though
Hmm.
you may not see somebody definitely sees you. So it
Yeah.
was very exciting that you, like you said, we're in the same communities.
Yeah.
And so many of our of the artists who were in our community at some point have gone on to other things, and it's
Yeah.
really great when
Absolutely.
you find that out. I'll tell you like a quick story. There's a show on HBO called Hacks. Uh,
Hmm.
there's a acquaintance of mine, Carl Clemens Hopkins, who is part of the
Hey.
show, and um, we went to the same wedding. My best friend's my partner's best friend, Alex Kuiper. We went to her wedding and we sat next to Carl Clemens Hopkins. And
Yeah.
I was being introduced to him, but they said, we've met before.
Oh,
We met
wow.
many
Oh,
years ago and told me this whole thing about how we met. And I was like, oh, wow, I
oh my
do
goodness.
remember that. Well, nice to meet you again.
Yeah.
And it was just that moment. I had to go all the way to Milwaukee to reconnect to Carl,
Yes.
who I
That
had met a long time ago. And
that
then
part.
shortly
Oh
after that,
gosh.
the call to Hacks.
Yeah, I love that part of it because where you'll often see Ella and I together because Nicole is in school,
Hmm.
she often goes to shows by herself, and that's one of the things that I do applaud her for because one, she's not, theater is to be consumed whether you're with someone or by yourself, because if you wait for someone, you may not ever make it to a show,
Hmm.
a production, or make a new friend. And Nicole does a great job at mingling with the people on the left and the right of her, but I think that also allows for people to see someone going to the theater by themselves, because we always feel like we're the only one. And if
Hmm.
Yeah.
we don't see an example of something, whether it's a single woman, whether it's two sisters, whether it's anything that goes away from what's considered the norm, we'll always feel like we're the only ones. And so I think that that is important as well, and why we try to show that as well. So we could go see the same show, but you may see two reels in our on our page, because I want people to see as much, diversity and different ways of consuming arts as possible. And that was one of our
Hmm.
biggest goals in regards to it, for
Yeah.
me.
And there's
And
been
they
some.
are definite big sisters and little sisters because I'll even drive. If they I went to New York and I left class and I drove to New York on a Tuesday by myself. And they were like, watch out for this and make sure you park where you can see.
Oh
And they'll
yeah.
give me like all the tips and tools of the trade.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get there, I let them know. On my way home, I let them know. But it gives us a chance to have that conversation
Yeah.
about art from two different perspectives where they're seeing it together and having one idea, and then I'm seeing it by myself and having another idea, but we can come together as a collective. So yeah.
Yeah. I always wanted to have. There was a time where I had 13 contributors working with me,
Mm.
and I was like, at the time the technology wasn't there, but I said, wouldn't it be cool is if we were all standing outside of four different theaters who are having an opening night, and we're in like a group chat, like a group video
Mhm.
conference, just talking about it, and then we can post that later. Like I'm at the Walnut Street Theater. I'm here at
Oh,
the Wilma. I'm
Right.
in
oh yeah.
Chestnut Hill at
Hmm.
Quintessence, and I'm
Yeah.
all the way in Paoli at People's Light.
I love
I thought
that.
that would be really cool. And since there's so many of you, you should think about that.
Yeah,
Do like a FaceTime, which I
you
think they
might.
let you record, and then you can have fun with that being in different
I
places.
love that
I
idea.
love that idea.
Tara's the best at the reels.
Oh
She's
Yes,
the
she
gosh.
best.
is. That's her
She
baby.
is on it.
Cool.
It's important.
So how did you get good at the reels?
So it actually came from we were already just like for ourselves, for our family. We I became somehow the historian, one of my sisters, because I like to take pictures and I know how important they are, and where media has changed and how we preserve, images and things like that. I said, okay, social media came around. I said, and I could share it with not just my immediate family. I could share it with my extended family and that access. But then I started getting so excited about every show that we saw. Truly, whether it was a classic, whether it was a musical, whether it was a play, and I wanted to tell somebody about it. And of
Hmm.
course, the people that I normally would tell are my siblings. I said, no, other people need to know about these shows. And so it would just be a picture here and there. Oh, this show was at Walnut Street, or this, we just saw this, and it became that.
Mhm.
But as I got more interested in the diversity of all the things that I consumed, I said, oh, I need to do a reel because I need to show every aspect from, even if I'm going to a restaurant, maybe you need to know that there's this little cute place right around the corner. And this is my our whole experience. It's a little, maybe a cocktail. We go into the theater, we may go check out merchandise, and then we may go in our seats and talk to the people around us. So I want to show them that it's not just a production on stage, it can be somewhat of a production of your night.
Yeah.
It's the good times with the drinks, the socializing with the
Mhm.
theater, taking in the arts, remembering that Philadelphia has such a vibrant theater, you know, a space for theater that, why are we, this happened right after COVID, actually, that we really started getting really passionate about it because
Mhm.
we wanted to make sure people were aware. Come back out. We have pictures where it's with mask on when it first started, but there was still, that was one of the first activities that came back in the world, actually, was theater.
Mhm.
There weren't games still being done. There weren't, live studios. It was actual physical theater. And so that's where I found myself when it came to wanting to share it, is to get people back into something that we love.
Yeah.
Come back, grab a seat there. And we've seen so many shows and shows that we would not, because truly, although there's a lot of theater, musical theater is not as alive as it could be in
Same.
Philadelphia, but the playwrights have been writing plays.
Mhm.
They have been hot and on fire and doing such creative things. And there's so many different theater companies that I also want to showcase that, because I want people to know, if this is what you like, there's something for you.
That's
There
right.
is a theater company that does shows from across the pond. There's someone who just started, well, not just started, we just started consuming, but there's plays that have been at least 100 years old, and now
Mm-hmm.
that's solely what they do.
Revivals.
You go to Quintessence, and they're always doing the classics, and not just the plays, but if they find a book, they will adapt it and
Mhm.
put it on stage. So it's all kinds of great things. And still, they also still do children as
Yeah.
well. We went to see Pippin with the great,
Oh,
I want to
that was
say,
at Wilma.
yes, but it was the musical theater company, and they were just kids just finding their way to the arts. So
They
it's
were
all of those
awesome.
things. They were amazing. They were amazing. And so that's why I think I found myself creating the reels, because I want to show a full experience of what a night out in Philadelphia could be.
Yeah. What was
And
that
Tara,
music
she's
theater
really good
Philly?
about. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's what it
Great.
was, and they were fantastic. Now I'm on looking to buy tickets to go see them do Shrek and Shrek Junior, because I just love seeing them come to life. I love being in the theaters with young people to watch them take it in, because if they don't, theater will die off.
Mm.
Because young people have to find their way there. And so I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, let them be in the space. I want to see them on the stage. I want to see them in the audience. Yes.
She went with the when the kids went to see Caesar.
Oh my God.
She went to the show, the matinee when they
It
performed it for
was,
the
oh,
kids.
and they were fantastic. As much as we may think that kids are going to goof off and do this, they were just as soon as the lights went out, I heard the gasp and I chuckled because they were so excited. And that's what you want. You want kids to
Yeah,
find joy in other things that they may not normally have. And this was made available through the theater company to make sure that Philadelphia kids can again have access to the arts. You know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Um,
then Tara, she's really good with that because she and Ella, I think it was perpetuated through our family. It started with my sisters going to see plays and shows, and then them bringing us souvenirs that we actually they weren't for us, but we kind of claimed them. They would bring albums back, and we would sing the albums, and then
Mm,
as the children, like our niece, they would take her to see Hello Dolly and just exposing her to that. And then when I had my children, they exposed them to different aspects of the arts. And now with my grandchildren, they're still showing them the arts. They took my grandson to see, Tyra took my grandson, Sakai, to
Oh.
see Aladdin. And
Mm,
he was just so thrilled. He still talks about that. Or
Mm.
when he went to see Havana Hop
Oh.
and he was engaged with that. So it has to start somewhere where we're constantly pouring into our
Yeah.
children, because sadly they've taken the creative process out of schools. There are no more music classes. There's very seldom a physical education class. They're not reading the same books because books are being banned. So some kind of way, we still have to channel our children back to the arts and the creative sides and open their minds to that. And I'm
yeah,
very grateful to my sisters for helping me in doing that.
that's great. That's yeah, you're right. That's what we have to do. I've been thinking about that as, you know, as UArts closed and we started thinking
Mm.
about how programs had dwindled in many institutions. I'm saying like we have to keep this fire, the
Yeah.
ghost light. We have to
Mm.
keep the ghost light on to
Yes.
do this. And I thought like every little bit of promotion helped because like you're scrolling through your feed and like it was a couple of seasons ago that I just started posting a picture of the playbill and I just
I,
said, "I'm here. Happy opening to the team and the cast and crew of this show. It's on stage until this." And so that way, there was just an impression
Yes.
of
Yeah.
their graphic on their playbill, and then it sort of caught on like fire. Like I didn't
yes.
originate it by any means, but a
I,
lot more people started doing it. And I would go out
Yeah.
into the community and they'd say, "I'm posting just like you are," or
Yeah.
that part.
someone told me that they saw me in the theater, but they were waiting for my post.
Mhm.
And
I
actors have
love
been
that.
backstage going like, "I know he's here. I haven't seen his
I
post yet."
I love
That's
that, and I
so
think that
funny because that
I love
happens
that you
to
say
us
that.
Hmm.
sometimes too. Like
Oh, yeah.
if we oh, we're going to this show and we know somebody in the cast or whatever, oh yeah, they come
Yep.
out and see us like, oh, I had to come say
Oh,
hi to you because you
Hmm.
were
Yes.
here,
Yeah.
and
oh
it's
my
just
goodness.
great. I mean, I am so impressed with the creativity and just how talented the performers are. And I'm like, we get to
Mm.
just sit back and enjoy it. And
Yeah.
I just have so much respect for them because I know it's not easy. They just
Hmm.
Right.
make it look
Right.
easy, and it just brings me a lot of joy. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
I that's why I love it so much too. I just like it's an escape, and I just feel good. Usually when I leave, I'm like, I really enjoyed that. It was 2 hours I could forget about everything else
Yeah.
and be in a different, environment and a different place. Not even, you know what I mean, in a whole different world, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
I
I
feel like
love your post, Darnell, because you see a much more wide array of theater than I do, and because of that, you allow for me to open my mind.
mm,
So I think that that is very important, even if it's just an image, because then I'm going to be like, well, what show was that? And I'll go
Right. Where are you?
look it
Right.
up, and it all helps. Every single person that posts and share anything about any theater they take in,
That's
yeah.
so
it
true.
really does make a difference. Because
Hmm.
I would have stayed in the same trajectory if had someone else not shown me that there was a different show,
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
different way to consume it.
Well,
And I
that's a
think we
good
all
place.
just enjoy and embrace creatives.
Mm.
Anybody that can play an instrument, that writes, that sings, that dances, that paints. There's so many aspects that people, their minds are just so
Yeah.
vast. I get excited when I see somebody that can. We went to a uh, we went someplace Friday, and the guy, he played the guitar with one hand and the piano with the other, and he was singing, and I was just like, "Oh my God, people do that!" It's just amazing to me. So I get very excited about creatives.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're working so hard to create the most I don't want to say perfect, but like the best example of what they've been working on is presented on stage every night.
Yes.
Mm.
Um, but at the same time, we know as insiders in the community that anything can and will happen.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
sometimes we always point out that it's live theater and that's
Yeah.
what's
Yes.
exciting about it.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
like if you see a stellar performance where it was flawless, that is great and that's live theater. But if you see it and there's a moment where like there's a mistake that happens, like a cue didn't fire well, or like somebody dropped a line or whatever, and you hear the audience, like you can tell the audience is rooting for the production to get back on
Oh
track,
yeah.
however it does. And when it does, you're
Oh
like, yes, I knew
Yes.
you guys were good. It's like, it's not about like it being perfect. It's like we're rooting for you as well.
yes,
And
absolutely.
so
Please
I
tell the story about Back to the Future.
ooh.
Please.
So this
I
is
know
I'm
I
gonna
was
tell it
thinking
really
that
quick.
too.
But it's a really I'm going to tell it really quick, but it's funny because we went to see Back to the Future when it came to the Academy. It was a Friday night, and they had made an announcement that there might be a change in the cast,
Hmm.
but we didn't see anything or hear anything. And so during the end of the first act, going into the second, there was an announcement made, and they said that there was an actor that was going to take over the role of the brother of Marty McFly, and the
Hmm.
name was Tyshawn. I can't remember what his last name is. And so the people sitting next to us said, "Oh, well, why did they have to make that announcement?" And so Ella and I looked at each other because we also knew one, the actor was originally a white person, but
Hmm.
we could tell by the name that the person was going to be black.
Yeah.
So as soon as they said, "Oh, why did they make that announcement?" Ella and I looked at each other and said, "You'll see." And as in the middle of the act, here comes this really talented, handsome brown boy playing the role, and they were like, uh,
We laughed. It was
we
so
laughed, and the show
funny.
just kept going.
Yeah.
But I think they all reacted in that moment, and they were like, so never disrespect the swing
Yep.
because they keep the show going,
That's
Yeah.
And even if it's in the middle,
even if it's in
Hmm.
the middle,
it was
and we're not
so
all the
funny.
same.
Hmm.
An actor is an actor.
That is great. I think we saw A Christmas Story at Walnut Street Theater, and I think this was opening night. And the woman who was playing the mother was swapped out, uh, like halfway
Didn't
through the show, and we noticed it. I think it
oh
happened in an earlier scene. It was still Act One, and it happened.
oh
And then I think in the second act, it was announced right before the second act that, for the remainder of the show. And then,
Well,
I
but
that's some
everybody, but
tea.
again, one of those things at the end,
Yeah.
a resounding applause for her
Yes.
because they knew that she stepped in and she was stellar, you
That
know?
mhm.
part.
yes.
And so I think that's always a plus too.
I love that.
I'll tell you, there's a moment that I kind of regret that I did this. I bought tickets to see Gypsy on Broadway with Audra
Mm.
McDonald,
Mm.
and it was a Christmas gift for my partner.
Mhm.
He loves Audra McDonald. We love Audra McDonald. I feel like we chase Audra McDonald around. We've seen
Any
this
productions? I
her
got you.
same show like several
Yes,
times, like once at the Carnegie, once at the Marian
I
Anderson,
understand.
and somewhere else. But when we were about to go, we found out that she was not going to be there because she was going to a funeral. And so I was
Mm.
like, the cost of these tickets, I know he wanted to see Audra in this
Mm.
so badly. And
Yeah.
we exchanged our tickets instead. We did, I mean, like we did a return,
I
and we ended up
understand.
going to see Oh Mary instead.
That was a
But
good time.
But the thing is, like, her understudy was stellar, was
Mm.
amazing, and I was
Yeah,
like, "Oh, I don't know why we could have done
yeah,
that."
yeah,
We could have done it anyway, but we
yeah.
did see another show that just kinda speaks to, like, our the ease of being able to kind of
Oh,
transition. That
yeah,
worked
Mhm.
out.
that
Can I
part
Yeah.
tell
too.
you, I feel that way about Deborah Cox, and
Mm.
she was in Jekyll
The
and
Wiz.
Hyde.
Jacqueline, Jacqueline.
Jekyll and Hyde, and she was sick the night we went to see it, and I
Mhm.
was sick because I wanted to see her, but
That's
her understudy was fantastic, and
Mhm.
that was our introduction to her, and it's Emmy,
Raven.
Raver Lamb
Mm.
Lampkin.
something, but
Mhm.
she's like she went on to she's been in the Wicked, she's
Hamilton.
been. Hamilton. She's been in a lot of things.
On
she's in
television now.
why
Yeah,
can't I think of
it's a
it?
big deal.
Umbrella Academy. She's in Umbrella
Yeah.
Academy. And she is phenomenal. So
Hmm.
I'm like, we might not have ever it might have been a while to be
Yeah,
introduced to her. She was in Hair too when we saw it, but she was amazing.
Oh.
So I
yeah.
was glad we got to see her. She was beautiful.
Right.
She was sweet. She was amazing.
But
We have
that is
to.
in us, just want to see the people that we want to see in productions. And I learned a couple of years ago from Lin Manuel. Actually, he had made a comment because when he was in Hamilton, there was going to be the one night that he was going to be off and be in the audience to take it in, and
Mhm.
that was the one night that Barack Obama was going to be there.
Mhm.
And in his heart and in his mind, he felt like I should be on the stage so that the president, the current president, can see me. And
Mhm.
then he said, who am I that feels like I should take that shine from someone else,
Mhm.
and that
Hmm.
the work is the work, and if anyone is doing it, it should still be the same reaction. And that's when I learned that I say I don't get mad when it's not the actors that I want to be in it, anything because or it's a touring company. Everybody works so extremely hard to put
Yeah.
on productions for shows. We just saw a beautiful production of Spring Awakening. We hadn't
Mhm.
seen
Yes.
since it was done, in our touring cast, maybe about because we didn't even see it on Broadway, maybe about 15 years ago. And to that set with me in a way that just I look at the musical differently because I'm also a
Hmm.
different person. Of course, Robbie directed it, Robbie Hager, and we love him, and he's an original cast member. We just,
Yeah.
but it was just something to be said to see something, even when it's no longer the it cast or the same production. There's just something to be said for
Yeah.
just biting it and going in and
And
Hmm.
hard.
that was Relic Theater Company. It's a new
Yes,
theater
Mhm.
Yes.
company.
And local. Yeah.
Yeah.
we're
And
so
They were
obsessed with
so
them.
Recent.
good.
Oh,
I serve on their board as well.
oh,
Oh,
I was
it was
there
it
before it
was
was an
Oh,
entity.
yes.
wow.
that's
And you
It was a
awesome. It was a
great
great
production.
production.
yeah.
Yes, it was.
I'll tell
I'm
you a fun
excited.
story about how that happened.
Mhm.
Um, so Relic told me that they were going to do Spring Awakening, and I said, "Do you know Robbie Hager?" And they were like, "I think they know, but vaguely. They didn't have close relationship." And I said, "Yeah, Robbie Hager is he was in the original cast of Spring Awakening. He's in
Yeah.
Nightside Songs
I
at the
love
time."
that. I love
That
that.
was
And at
fantastic.
Philadelphia Theater Company, and I said, "I'll chat with him." And so we went to the show, and I don't know if it was after the show or before the show because there was a moment where they could mingle. Uh, and he came over, and I was like, "Robbie, hey!" And I gave him a hug, and I was like, "Robbie, I am on the board of a new theater company that is doing Spring Awakening as their inaugural production." And he almost cut me off and said, "I'd love to be a part of it." I was like, "What?
Oh
Okay."
Wow.
my
I was like, "I'm
gosh.
gonna let him know. You'll probably get a call
Oh,
tomorrow." And so I sent him
yeah.
an email and I was like, "Jump on this."
Thank
That
you.
was
Thank you. Thank you.
amazing.
Thank
It
you.
was
Because
a
Yeah.
great choice. He brought in a great team
yes.
and they cast
Oh,
some wonderful young talent
oh
Yeah.
into
my
Absolutely.
It was
that. It was
amazing.
so
Oh, it was so
beautiful,
good.
it
so
Yes.
was
beautiful. And what a great
Yes.
beautiful.
sign for a company who,
Yes.
their first hit out of the
Yes.
box, Barrymore recommended, and
Mm,
what a great example of what you can expect from a
yeah.
Relic Theater Company. So that was
Oh,
Absolutely.
really
wow.
great.
Oh,
And
And
new
that's
And
you
those are
so
talent
can't
too.
moments.
exciting.
you can't be
Yes.
huge, humble beginnings because I think about with James Imes
Hmm.
when we saw him at the Art and Theater almost 30 years ago.
It was his
Wow.
And
first production too,
he
out of college.
he was yes, he was James and James and the Giant
Was
Peach.
it
Yep.
that long ago?
Yes, it was
Yes.
almost 30 years.
God.
Max was a little person,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And
maybe not quite 30.
or maybe
It wasn't
25,
30.
somewhere
Yeah.
around
Maybe
there
20.
he
He's not that old.
in my mind.
he and I are close in age. I've been
Yeah.
here.
Thank
But it
you.
was
Thank
very,
you,
very
sir.
many years
I've been here
ago.
about
But just to
25
think
years.
that he started
Really?
as being James.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't have thought that.
Oh,
I didn't
Yeah.
yeah.
either.
Who,
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I'm
oh,
45.
oh,
Oh,
you.
Come on, don't
wow.
crack.
Oh,
It
What?
don't. My grandma said
I love
my
it.
grandma said when I went to college, she said, "Don't eat so much ramen, it's high in sodium, and try not to eat too much candy because your
Oh,
face will break out." And
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 did
so
that's
you
I
that.
do both of those things?
yeah, I paid attention. I drink a
Yeah.
lot of water. My guilty pleasure is kind of gummies or licorice, but
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sitting around all day consuming those things.
Yeah.
I get it, and I know what Nikki was going to say about James, but the one thing about it was he was a representation very early off. And I
Hmm.
can't tell him enough. We absolutely adore him. He knows
We
Mhm.
this.
love him.
But we tell him all the time that our nephews just loved seeing him on stage in the art and theater as that character, the main character of a book that they had read.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
just to see him now, just out, of course, he's not acting as much, if ever. I would love to see him on stage again. I'm just saying it right now.
That's
But
a
Mhm.
shameless plug. Try begging.
but oh gosh, yeah. But to see right before one of the last things he did was a stage reading during Philadelphia's
Okay.
theater week, a reading of Fat Ham,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and hearing it and saying, "I can't wait to see this show."
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of course, COVID happened, and we didn't get to take it in that way, but we got to see it digital.
Yeah.
We
Right.
got to see it get nominated. We
Mhm.
got to
Yeah.
see it in New York. And
Mhm.
then we got to see it multiple times in Philadelphia just because we love this. But it just speaks to, how committed we are in Philadelphia to the arts and
Yeah.
our people. And now we're getting ready to do the amazing James Imes Citywide.
Uh-huh.
We're getting ready to go to
Yes.
this package. Just how you constantly see how, especially the arts, they pour into our artists,
Mhm.
whatever may be young, old, new talent, revisited, just all of it. And so that's why I think that when you see Philadelphia, you see us in those spaces, it's because of that. We want people to know that
Yes.
Philadelphia is doing great things. And we go to other theater companies, but
Right.
I just love what we do and the different types of shows that we do. You can go see a brand new world premiere opera for $11
Mhm.
Hmm.
with amazing talent.
Yeah.
You can I could run down a whole list of ways that we have as much as people see us out and about. It's we watch our costs because
Yes.
Philly allows us to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's so many ways to take in the arts, and I just never want money to be a barrier for anyone
Hmm.
or transportation. We take public transportation, although we do have vehicles. We consume it in all different ways,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
want people to know that I take pictures on the bus so people can see I am actually on the bus going,
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
the to the arts. And so I think that that's the most important thing I feel when we do the reels is that yes, we want to enjoy it, but we want people to see this is what fun can also look like
Mhm.
Right.
in Philly. You know,
Yeah. This is
how about you?
I when I did interviews in person before the pandemic, I used to meet you at your theater. And
Mm.
so I would go to Quintessence. I would always open the interview saying, this afternoon I went to I went to you know, Suburban Station and I got on the
Yes,
Chestnut Hill
Yes.
yes,
West
yes,
and I got off at
Yes.
Allen Lane and I walked a
yes,
couple blocks through a beautiful neighborhood to make my way
yes,
to Germantown Avenue here at the
Yeah.
Sedgwick to talk
yes,
to Quintessence Theater Group.
Yeah.
I had to let them know like how to
yes.
get there,
Yeah.
That's
because it's sometimes you just think, oh, it's far. It's
Mhm.
like arguably, if you're going to People's Light in
mhm,
Paoli, it's probably good to
Yeah.
drive, but you can get
mhm,
there. You can
Yeah.
get there on
Right.
public
absolutely,
transportation.
Right.
You just have to
absolutely.
plan. Like it's just like New York. Like
Hmm.
Exactly.
It's
I'll
exactly.
take the train in New York and I'll see a
Yes.
matinee because I
Yep.
want to get home,
Right.
before it's
Us
too
too.
late. And so I'm always there on the weekend for a matinee,
Well,
because I'm taking public transportation.
we've gone during the week. We've gone on a Tuesday
Hmm.
and saw a show, an evening show, and ran to get the last
The
train
last
home,
train.
get home at,
Yeah.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
The
but
actors were
like
even
we've
surprised
done
and said, "You're
that
going home
too.
tonight?"
I mean, we
We're like,
hung
Mhm.
by
"Yep,
the stage door too. Okay, now we gotta go. Now we gotta
we wanna
go.
I love that. That's
Yes.
dedication right there.
Oh yeah.
We
Oh
had
oh yeah.
to. I'm like, "Well, let's just, and sometimes it's an adventure,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's have an adventure."
Yeah.
So I know so we did mention a few things that you've recently seen that we've both seen, but is there something that is like it's rent free in your head right now for this season? Is there a piece that you can't shake
That I've
currently at this
seen
moment?
or that I want to go see.
That you've seen, and then
Okay.
what you're looking forward to.
Okay. So for me, it was fire
Hmm.
at the Quintessence.
Fire was
That
fire.
it
Yeah, it
was
was.
fire for
Yeah.
so many reasons. I mean, everything that they were selling, I was buying
Hmm.
because
Mhm.
it was a story that I had never heard that was true. And they did such a beautiful job. And it's funny that you mentioned Spring Awakening because whenever I posted about Spring Awakening, I always talked about fire also because it was two young, beautiful casts
Hmm.
that that were young people just were on fire on the
Yeah.
stage, and that was what I absolutely I love the new members that I had not seen, you know, the staging because one of the things that Quintessence does beautifully is they use their entire space,
Hmm.
and that I think
Yeah.
their entire theater house. So I think that was the one that for me right now I
Yeah.
still I can't shake it. I love it.
That joyful noise in the lobby. I
Woo!
loved that moment. I'm just all
Oh
smiles the whole time, and
Yes.
I'm watching the work they're all
yes,
doing, just like
Yes.
being
Yes.
characters making their
oh
way to this train.
so
And
Oh my
beautiful.
gosh.
Nick Parker is in that show.
We love him.
He's a good friend of mine.
Oh,
I was like I leaned over to Erica Ezold, who's the managing director
oh,
Mhm.
at Quintessence, and I was like the the facial work that Nick is doing in this moment
oh
right now.
my
He was
gosh.
there was all the he was looking back like who called me?
Oh
Like kind
my
of looks on his
gosh.
face. He was doing so much and it
Oh,
worked. It was like it was
oh,
there's just so much energy there. Everybody was excited to be here together
yes,
in
yes.
this moment, those characters. And
Oh,
I loved how they had, part of their scenic design was this backstage moment that was
which,
further away from us, but we were still very much into
oh
it.
my
And it
gosh.
was
That
like,
was like
I
my
love this.
favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you see Hassan walking around and he's frantic because he's the one that put up all, and that's not the character's name, I mean the actual person's name, but you can tell, you feel the energy that they're putting on this production, but we're also, stressed out in the
Hmm.
back. It was just
Yeah.
so beautiful watching all the pieces being done, and then going back home and being able to read through and say, I know what they're talking about right now. It was just a
Yeah.
beautiful production. Everything from
Yeah.
souvenirs, like I said, souvenirs to the staging to the actors. I love it and I want more and more. More
Yeah.
and more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw your post. You made a comment on my interview with Kashim Fowler Bryant on that one.
I
Yeah.
love him. Oh, so good. So good.
He was wonderful in that role. I was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
glad.
Really.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Nicole.
I have two. I think it's a toss up for me between Plantation Black
Hmm.
and Suffs.
Okay.
Um, Plantation Black because I love Phaedra's idea. I was like one of those kids that read Encyclopedia Brown books and you could choose your ending. I
Yeah.
love this
Yeah, yeah.
that you could choose the
Mm,
audience chose where the story started and how you would have a different perspective and the
Hmm.
way that it opened was or the opening lines were the closing lines and how things tied together. That was so amazing to me. And
Yeah.
Phaedra had on some really really cute Doc Martens that I love. But the other and then Suffs is because I felt that Suffs was so relevant to right
Hmm.
now. Not only
Yeah.
with it being Women's History Month, but just how far we've come, but still how much farther we have to go. So those two are still sitting with me very much.
Yeah.
mm.
And both great productions that were here in
Yes,
city.
they were. Yes, yes, yes.
So
And Ella.
I had enough time, right, to think. Um, I am strange because
No, you're
I
not.
never can pick a favorite. Like, well, what's your favorite music? I don't have a
She loves it
favorite.
She loves
all.
I can never
everything.
pick a favorite. Or if like if
Right.
I go through phases, like I want to see something, I watch it every day. But
Yeah.
so for me right now, I think the show that I really loved, and I just didn't know anything about it, but I think it was a beautifully written story, is Blues for an Alabama Sky.
Mm.
Mm.
And I used to be this fairy tale girl, always wanted to be a happy ending and everything. Now I am okay with it being sad.
Mm.
So if if those emotions come up in me that are, my heart is breaking, whatever, that's a good story for me.
Right,
So
right.
I just think
Yep.
the cast was
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes.
The cast, it was beautifully acted. The set was gorgeous, and I just really love that show. And it was a show that I didn't know anything about.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know. I just think it was, it reminds me of like the old timey, cat on a hot tin roof and
Mhm.
all
Mm.
like those old. But
Mhm.
I'm not interested in that. Like Days of Wine and Roses, like those kinds of stories.
Mhm.
But and I usually
Yeah.
don't like those for whatever
Mhm.
reason. But this, the way it was told and the characters, just I just got something from all of them. So I think that's an amazing show, and that anybody like go see that show. The
Mhm.
cast was phenomenal. Cookie, that was their first stage,
Yeah.
right? Their
Mhm.
first acting
Mhm.
role.
Brett was fantastic. That was.
Fantastic. Yes. It's
Yeah.
fan
It
Have
was
you seen it
gorgeous.
yet? Or you
Taylor.
gonna go
Yes.
see it?
I saw it opening night. It was
Okay.
Oh, you
wonderful.
really loved it. It was
I
so
loved
good.
it.
Yeah, I loved the cast. They every character had their moment where they could shine.
Yes.
Cookie was
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yes.
Cash was
Yes.
Oh
wonderful.
my
Like
gosh.
Oh.
Cash's character was like
Oh my gosh.
there were moments where Cash's character was like cringe
Yes.
Oh.
because it
Yeah.
felt like it felt like the character was sort of obsessed with
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sam was obsessed with Dilly.
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
And
Mm.
but he was just awkward.
Yes.
And then he
And
grew
and
on
he
her and
gave
then
up.
Yes.
they
Yes.
and it was so beautiful
They
and
pull
I
on
was
us.
did not expect
Oh.
the play to end the way it did and I was like,
None
"Oh,
of us.
oh
No,
my god." And
And then
none
yeah.
an
of us.
Angel, the
Oh.
that character, like
Mhm.
to me, it didn't feel
Ebony.
like it was acting. I
Yeah.
felt
Mm.
like that was watching somebody,
Yeah.
Mhm.
people really in life.
Yeah,
So
it
Yes.
felt
I
very
just thought it
lived
was
Mhm.
in.
yes,
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
Yes.
fantastic,
Mhm.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
fantastic.
And I
And it
just want
was
to have an
extended.
extra. Yes.
Was it?
I
Oh
Extended
my
through
love
god!
the
March
choice.
22nd. That's
Oh
Yes.
Okay.
my!
Lantern
Lantern.
Theater Company's production
Yes.
of Blues for an
And
Alabama Sky. Go see
Yes.
it.
It's
I have to go
so,
again. I
it's
might have to
Little
so
go
plug for
again.
Lantern.
yes,
Oh
yes.
my
yes.
gosh.
Oh,
It's
there's it.
fantastic. It's
Mhm.
It
fantastic.
really is. I loved it. Oh,
All
but I
right, you
had
said there
one
was a
more
bonus.
I had one extra one because I'm enjoying this season so
Hmm.
much. Even while you're saying that you have such a long, because it's such a vibrant um things that are going on. And of course, I enjoyed Fringe too. So I can understand you having a lot of shows to talk about. But I did want to mention one other show that really sat with me that was a very popular show that's being done right now. And it's Primary Trust.
Mm.
Yes.
And I think because there are also conversations that are not being had in multiple communities about, mental health
Hmm.
Mhm.
in regards to relationships and like we just said, being awkward and all of those things in that particular show, and what the cast gave in it was just stunning to watch. Even from the set, I realized maybe halfway through that the set was like almost like when we were kids and had a pop-up book.
Hmm. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful to watch, and it just consumed me in every way. I said the moments that were uncomfortable and how Amina directed, but also how Newton played it. He
Yeah.
just
Yes.
left you there in those moments that
Mhm.
we have such stellar actors, but they're
Talent.
also
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
But even the people that are being mindful of the productions that they're putting on the stage are very conscious, and I really appreciated that when that particular one was. It
Absolutely.
was funny and fun, but it was also it was heart wrenching to watch.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so that was one of my extra bonuses. And
That's
every
And then
single show that we mentioned were all directed by females. Just so we just want to put that in the universe
that's true.
again. Back to the women
with
month. Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes, that was wonderful. I fell in love with Akeem Davis as Bert and
yes.
Yeah.
Tasha
Yeah.
as Karina, the waiter.
Oh,
Yes.
Like
brilliant.
Yes.
all those choices, all
Oh,
those choices that she made every time she had to like
every
reset and present,
Yes.
I thought was
she was
wonderful.
Yeah.
So
brilliant,
good. Yeah.
brilliant. Loved
It was so good. It was really
Yeah.
good.
it.
Yeah, and that whole cast, the whole cast was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes,
Newton Buchanan,
yes,
arguably
And
the
Mike
lead
yeah.
was
was
On stage
great.
now.
Yes, he
Yeah, yeah,
is.
he is.
Yes, he's on
He's on
stage now.
stage.
Good
He's on Good
bones. Yes.
Bones. Good
So
Bones.
I'm gonna say it here because I've been saying it to him the whole season. I'm going to get an interview with Newton this
Yes,
season.
yes.
That's
yes.
shameless, but
He
come
had
on,
Yes.
to.
Newton.
Newton has
Yes,
done. Newton
yes.
has he is cast
Ah,
all season. It's
Yes.
yes.
crazy.
It's
I think it's
Every
so
wonderful.
wonderful,
Yeah.
which
yeah,
is
Newton is
great.
outside, y'all. Newton is
yeah.
outside.
You go
Yeah.
back to back, show after show. He because he brings so much to every single role that I would love to see you pick his brain.
Hmm.
Just whether
Hmm.
it's for his theater company or as an
Yes.
actor or for a production. He just
Hmm.
is,
He's so
Yeah.
talented.
yes,
Yes,
Hmm.
he is.
yes,
So
It is
talented.
indeed.
wonderful. Well, it's
So,
not his fault. It's mine.
oh, okay.
I've been super busy, and so
Okay.
Well,
I'm just saying it now, so I could be like,
you
episode
He'll hold you
28
to it.
said we were gonna
Yeah.
have
Yes,
that interview.
yes, yes,
And we
yes,
will
yes, yes,
remind you. We will
Yes.
yes,
remind you.
yes, yes, yes,
Keep me honest on that one.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
I will say I probably have two shows that stood out that just keep space in my head, and I would say I went to Hedgerow
Mm.
I
December to
know.
see Little Women.
Really?
Oh,
This was a newer adaptation by Kate Hamill. It was directed by
Okay.
Abby Weissman and with music direction from my husband,
oh
Matthew
my God,
Mastronardi.
Ooh, that's
oh
great.
my God.
But
And that was one of my favorite books.
we
Oh.
sat there. That piece was so beautiful because this adaptation spoke to um, Joe feeling like an outsider
Okay.
in their family, but they presented it as what many have come to realize over time, that Joe, the character Joe, is non-binary.
Hmm.
And so all of those moments
I love.
in the life of the family hit differently when you
Yeah.
really
Mm.
make that
When you really
clear.
Mm,
is, yes.
And it was so touching. Like it's Beth's story
yeah.
overall.
Yeah.
And just the ensemble was just wonderful. And
I
it
was going to
ends
ask
with
who
this little.
played Joe. Who
So
played Joe?
Joe was Marissa Emerson.
Yes, I wanted to
Yeah.
see.
Hmm.
And
Wonderful. Olive
oh,
Gallagher was Beth and had
yes.
just won a Barrymore like a few weeks
Mhm.
ago. Like Leo
Oh,
Mock was Laurie and
beautiful.
Marmy
That's
was
Yeah, that was a
awesome.
great
Emily
cast.
Grace
But I
Murray.
wanted to
Hmm.
see. Oh, I wanted to see that. And that's the one
We
struggle we
haven't
have
been
because
to that
so much
Mhm.
theater, and
theater.
there's
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
there that happen. I'm like,
I
where
wanted to
is
see
it?
that.
It's probably not
Right.
even that far.
So
It's
you
But I
can
not.
always see things there. I always see things
yeah.
you
Mhm.
know, they're doing shows there, and we just haven't ventured there. So
Hmm.
now
That
we
was the
have
one I wanted.
to.
So you can take a train to Hedgerow Theater. I think it's the Rose Valley Station.
So,
But
What part of PA
it's
is it?
media. It's
Oh,
basically
okay.
media.
Okay.
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 But it's a little tricky because when you get to that train station,
Mhm.
you could walk to the theater, but the road is like there isn't a sidewalk on the road, and so it
We would
feels
try.
dangerous. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that would be a drive.
We would
Yes.
try.
I was told that there is a path
Uh,
from the train station that will get you safely to the
don't
theater.
know. I don't do the nature. I don't
No,
do the
yeah.
nature.
Yes.
No, 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 no. And I
Anyway,
just watched
get a
Rob
friend,
Clark. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
carpool,
Yes.
get out to
Yes.
Hedgerow Theater.
Yes.
Hedgerow has had a long legacy, and they are continuing to hold true to their name. Everybody who works there, it's like a rite of passage to just kind of have
Mm.
hedgerow theater on your resume in some way. And so they're doing great work, and I made an effort this season to really try to highlight more of what they were doing. And so, like, Little Women did not disappoint. I said I feel like we're going to be at the Barrymores talking about how beautiful that show was.
Ooh,
You
I
know,
Wow.
love
That's
it.
awesome.
and I guess the other show, even though I enjoy everything that I go to see, because I
Me
my whole the
too.
whole point is
Me
to
Oh,
find
too.
something
Yes, yes.
that I
yes.
love about it, take it
Connect with
with
yes.
me. I love Plantation Black, but since you already said that, we'll leave it
That's
there. I loved Caesar,
okay.
but we talked about that, and
Yeah.
so I'll leave it there. Um, a show that really held me was 1 pound 4 ounces.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
We saw
You're gonna
that
make me
twice.
cry
yeah.
just even thinking about
We
it.
saw
Right?
that
That
twice.
was a
Because
Azuka Theater and Simpatico Theater co-produced that. Khalil Munir. I had
oh
a great
Mm,
chat with him. It
yes,
was
you
so
did.
wonderful, that piece, like the love in
mhm.
that
Oh,
room. He said in
every
the chat, he said in our chat something about the fact that these men who have been carrying themselves with like stoicism, like
time.
trying to
Yeah, yeah.
be the rock for everybody, for them to be able to like resonate with this and break down
Hmm.
and be
Yeah.
real
Human.
and kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
soft
yeah,
with
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah.
Like he said, that is the moment. That's when I knew.
Oh, oh.
And I was like, this, I'm so glad. However, it got to Azuka and
Mm,
Sapatko, I'm so glad it happened. It was
I
so
agree.
beautiful,
Yes.
oh,
uh, well executed. What
Yes.
a
yes.
wonderful piece. Yeah,
Yes, it
I'm
Yes.
a
was.
huge
Awesome.
fan of Khalil
Yes.
Lanier.
Yep.
Oh, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we saw that twice.
And
yeah,
anything we love, you know it because you'll see it posted twice, if not
yeah.
more, because
Oh,
it just, you want to take it in
Hmm.
just one more time because
Right.
sometimes the production just is not the same if
we
you see
weren't
someone
ready.
else do it. You
Yeah.
weren't
We
ready.
weren't ready.
Hmm.
Oh,
And they
Mhm.
had the tissues outside. We're like,
I don't
we
need
didn't
where's my
these.
tissue?
I was
Where
like,
them
I
tissues at?
needed those tissues.
Yes.
Oh my God. It was
Oh, oh,
beautiful.
But
yeah.
Beautiful.
there's too much theater that really
Mm,
stood out. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
yes.
when I was in the Fringe, there were two pieces that were works in development, and the
Mhm.
way they
Mm-hmm,
had used the Fringe to continue developing the piece, I really enjoyed that.
mm-hmm, mm-mm.
There was new work that was being
Yes.
presented.
Fringe was fantastic.
People
Yeah.
from out of
It was,
town came in and told
oh,
some
Yeah.
great stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
and still got to meet and learn some new talent. We saw, and I'm going to mention my two real quick, Caribbean King
Hmm.
Mm. Oh, I
and
love that.
um, um,
Was it New
what is
Heaven,
it?
New
New
Earth?
Heaven, New Earth.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those
Both of them.
two, fantastic. I
Because
won't
we
even go
saw
into
the
the whole thing, but it's
reading.
fantastic.
We
Oh,
saw
Hmm.
the reading like at Arden for
mm,
New Heaven, New Earth, and just how different it
mm,
is now
Hmm.
from
yeah, yeah.
what we
Yeah.
saw.
And those were,
I
and
love it.
all of it's fantastic, but Fringe just does some things
Hmm.
because people
Mhm.
are afraid sometimes to take a chance. And with
Yeah.
Fringe, you really do get a chance to see some different work. We saw even a production of, I can't remember what, Dan Dogberry.
Dogberry and Burgess
Oh,
are
yes.
scared.
Are scared,
Yes.
just those types of. So they're even tapping into
That was
Shakespeare. They tap
so
into
great.
Yep.
Mm.
everything. That is a great festival that we have in
And
Philadelphia. Then
and
we also
that
saw the Variety
Yeah.
Pack. You
that
know,
production's on its way to Edinburgh.
I
We know. We were
Oh, that's
talking to
heard.
awesome.
Scott. We were
We
talking to
were talking
Scott.
to
I love
Scott.
Yeah.
him. I love
Oh,
him. I'm like,
I
I
was
want
yeah,
to go to England to to West
yes.
End and see
Take him
some
something.
shows.
Yeah,
that
I
is
love it.
that
We're
is
gonna
a
put that
stop.
out there. It's coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a destination on our honeymoon to go to
Oh,
Edinburgh. So,
Wow.
yeah.
oh,
For
that's
you.
We'll be
For
there.
fantastic.
you,
Well, I'm
Darnell.
glad you squeezed us
Wonderful. Yes.
in between
Mhm.
all
Oh,
of
well,
that.
we're not going till the summer. So we're
Of
going
course, because this
when the
weather is.
festival's in August.
Oh
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
where's that information? Because maybe we could make that happen too. I'm
we won't
dying to
intrude
go.
on
No,
your
Yes.
we won't
No,
act
your
no,
like we
no.
know you.
honeymoon,
Scott
but
was
we
talking
will.
Everybody.
about it too. Scott was talking
I
about it
want all
too.
the listeners to plan airfare and travel
Yes,
to go to Edinburgh,
Terrible.
yes,
and
Okay.
keep track of the Philadelphians who make their way over there.
yes,
I
yes,
think that
yes,
that's
yes.
what's fun. You know,
Mm,
when I first went, I was following the artists I knew that were coming from Philadelphia and New York. I had done a post and said, I'm going to Edinburgh this year. Let's connect. And so I got like 7 people from New York who
Wow.
connected with me. And then the handful, I think it was like five different productions from Philly that were coming. And it was
I
so
love it.
cool to say I had to go all the way over to the pond to have a
Yes.
chat, all over the pond to have a
To
chat
meet
with
you.
some Philadelphians and New Yorkers.
I
But
love
it was wonderful because I'm media, so I got a
it. Mhm.
press pass, and when I got the press pass, their contacts would just send me an email and say, "Here's all the
Mm,
shows I'm repping. Let me know what you want to see."
Oh wow.
yes.
And I was able to schedule interviews with them. I sat out in courtyards. We sat on the
Mm.
University of
Awesome.
Edinburgh's
Oh,
campus,
that's
just having a chat.
awesome.
It was
Oh,
so fun, and it was a
that,
good test on how to how to remotely produce the podcast.
right.
Because I
Okay.
was churning those episodes out.
Oh,
it was
So
it was so
Oh,
good.
good.
I have to go back and visit those. I want to go
Yeah,
Yes.
back
but
and
I'm
find
I'm
those
looking
too.
forward to it, and I'm rooting for Dogberry and Burgess are scared
Yes.
because I know it is not cheap to go
No,
to
it's not.
Edinburgh, and so I do believe that they are doing a at least one or two productions that are like fundraisers that lead
Okay.
up to getting them what they need to go to Edinburgh. So we'll
Okay.
see,
Yep.
and we'll look forward to it. But
Yes. And
yeah,
that
I
cast, as many can go, my
hmm
fingers are crossed for them because they
Mhm.
were
yeah,
So good.
fantastic.
that
So
was
good.
that was so great.
Yep.
So what
Yeah.
are you looking forward to? Like it's March. Like
Mhm.
what are you looking forward to in March?
We're going
Oh
to
my
see
goodness.
Hamlet tomorrow.
No, Thursday. We're going Thursday
Thursday.
with
Thursday.
Eddie
Izzard.
Izzard. Yes.
Oh,
So we're looking forward
I'm
to that.
excited.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that. And
Yeah.
we've just really started getting into Hamlet because we saw the PA Shakes
hmm
production last summer, which was phenomenal.
Hmm.
So I'm excited about seeing
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
Because one person shows are its own thing,
hmm
when
Yeah.
you've
Yeah.
got one person on stage and doing everything, that just
Yeah.
is a different level of talent
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
I don't
looking
know, what
forward
do
to
we have?
Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
Yes.
hmm
At the
That we
art.
have
Hmm.
tomorrow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's a couple of
I think
things
I'm
that
that
are
for
on my
Friday. I'm Romeo and Juliet for Friday.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Great.
think. I think I'm looking forward to that. And then what else is happening? I revisit things. I'm not gonna lie because
Hmm.
if I saw seen something and I want to see it again, I will because I do
hmm
want to see. And that's the one thing. Some shows run a long time, and some only get a short window. Because theater is what it is right now, and so
hmm
Hmm.
I want to see Good Bones once more because a lot of shows that we also see are in previews.
Hmm.
And so I
Yeah.
love to revisit a show if I enjoyed it in previews to see how they move with each other at this point in regards to
Hmm.
that. I think that's the one that I am looking forward to revisiting, but I'm looking forward to Romeo and Juliet. I love I I'm sorry, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no, I got one
Okay.
because it's a theater that we've never been to, and it's a
Oh.
show that I love. We're gonna go see Jelly's Last Jam at the
Yes.
The
Riverside.
atrium.
Yes.
Yes.
We've never been
Yes.
there,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and that show we went to see it when at Encores in New
Hmm.
York, and we were like that should have gone to Broadway. It was
Straight to Broadway. It
phenomenal.
was everything. Leslie Uggam, you had Nicholas, Christopher, Billy
Billy
Porter, the
Porter,
original Honeys.
it
That's
was
that's our own
incredible.
fuss.
So now I'm like, this is the only way, but I'm excited because we've never been there,
Yeah.
and
hmm
it's a show that I've only seen once before,
Hmm.
and I loved it. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Have you've
Bristol.
been to the
Yes. Bristol Riverside is a great theater. They're newly renovated, probably like
Mm.
last season. That they did a renovation. I've never been disappointed when I went up to Bristol to see a show. It always seems to rain when I'm there, though.
Mm.
Another
Okay.
place
good
you
luck
can't.
for the
For the
actors maybe.
actors,
Yes,
maybe it's good luck.
another
Like
place you
that.
can get to on public transportation, but it is
Okay.
a little bit of a walk from the
Yeah.
train station.
Okay.
She's
But on
not
a
doing
beautiful
that.
day, Not a big deal.
No. What happens when the sun goes down?
Oh
Then you
goodness.
gotta get back. I'm like, mm-mm.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yes,
if you're doing a matinee,
Mm-hmm.
you could
Yeah.
take the
It's
walk. But
important.
yeah,
I love
Bristol's
that you
great theater.
walk, but I'm
Yeah.
like, no, she's driving.
Mhm.
I only walk because I don't drive. I had a license. I had a car once upon a time. I just don't have one now. And since I've been
I
in
No,
get it.
Philly, I
listen.
haven't had the need. And
Yeah.
there's always
Yeah.
somebody very close to
Mm-hmm.
me who drives. My best friend drives, and my husband drives. So
I get it.
Yeah. If you do
I get
Google
it.
Earth, Darnell, you will see Ella's car probably
Parked all the time.
95% of the time parked because we
Parked right
take
in front of
public
the house.
She don't
transportation too.
take right.
She does not drive it that much, so that's just my thing.
when Google came by, your car was out
Like,
there.
it's
I'm like, oh,
always
that's my
there.
old car.
It's
Oh,
always it's always going to be
it
there.
is.
But you
Yeah.
know what? There is something else that is super exciting. When you were talking about being committed to telling, making sure that you promoted hedgerow
Hedgerow.
the
Mhm.
theater. One of the things that every year we do something different that we focus on, and this in regards to theater. And so last year was our theater season of discovery. We found a lot of new companies,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and so that was one of my favorite things. And this season is visiting really early works and the conversations with people that have, almost had amazing success and
Mm,
still are doing the hard work to get their pieces done. And that comes along with us going to Playpen
mm.
last year. And so now I've been following them and the things that they're doing. And on the 30th and the 31st, they are having sessions with James Imes
James
and
Irons,
Roger
Roger Q
Mason.
Mason.
We
Yep.
Yes,
love
Yes,
and
those
both
those
are.
are
of
places,
them.
Yes, we
right?
do.
And so
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, just the conversation and watching how their mind actually works and how things come, and how they're very open to people pouring because everyone gets very touchy about their work, and to watch someone who has had the success that they have
Hmm.
had and have and still willing to welcome people into the room to
Mhm.
say, well,
To
this
hash
or
it out.
that,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited about that. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to.
Mhm.
There, Roger Q. Mason is a part of a film called Lavender Men that is in our queue right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I
Ooh.
have to watch because I wanted to watch it too.
Okay.
I had a great chat with Roger Q. Mason
When
for the duat.
do I?
Oh, that
Yeah,
was
Yes,
Oh,
we love
fantastic.
that
that. That
was
was so
a
good.
oh,
that was a great
That was
chat.
just on my mind as a one man show. Yeah.
Yeah.
mm, fantastic.
It's a
Yeah,
great chat. Go back and listen to that. I
yeah.
say it somewhere in it. I was like, I feel like I want to like go to LA and take one of your classes. I was like, this is a
Mhm.
less. I'm feeling fed
Right.
right now. I was like, this
Right,
is
He
so good.
right.
he
Yeah.
really does. When we met him,
I
we were
love
like we
his
could have
spirit.
stood and
I
talked to him.
forever,
We told him
Yes.
that for
forever,
Yeah.
out just
Yeah.
because
because he's
the
yeah.
He's
master
very
class
approachable.
leader.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, he is the master class. Yes, in every bit. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, what a lively discussion we've had.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we want that right.
Woo.
They
And,
talk
and
a
we know
lot. They
cocktails.
talk
Yes,
a
We
we
know
lot.
do.
cocktails.
I
Yes.
hope our listeners are doing laundry or vacuuming and enjoying us
Yes.
chatting right now.
I really hope so too.
And saying like, "Oh,
I,
I gotta get to these theaters. They mentioned
Yes,
please,
Lantern,
please,
Philadelphia
please,
Yeah.
Theater
please,
Company,
please. Listen.
Azuka,
Oh
Please,
Arden."
my
please,
God.
please.
Listen.
theater
Theater
exile.
Yeah,
Yes.
exile.
Theater
Don't get
So
us wrong. Them
Exile.
many.
down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Arden,
Oh,
Absolutely.
the
yes.
Prometheum. Yeah.
Yes.
I always
Interact,
say
all of them. Yeah.
there's two things I always say that theater kids are the best kids. I always use that as a
Hmm.
hashtag. And I
Agreed.
always say theater is more fun with a plus one. And so
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
because the
Yes.
thing is like I got this particularly from Theater Exile before I ever worked there. I knew
Mm.
that the conversations they were having on stage were affecting me in real
Mm.
time. I was
Yes.
feeling like intense feelings about what was going on stage.
Mhm.
And so that was in
Mhm.
the theater. But then
Mm.
my walk home, I was
Mm.
still
Mm.
thinking about it. And if I was with
Yeah.
someone, we're having a great chat
That
about
part.
it,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for sure.
and then the next day I'm talking to coworkers about it, and
Mm.
my
Mhm.
opinion of the piece is evolving as
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm having the conversation, and I'm saying like, yeah, like how you can find something to hold on to
Say,
in every
yes.
Absolutely.
conversation that's being
Absolutely.
had.
Mm-hmm.
You just have
Agree.
to want to find something.
That part.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you walk into a space saying, this is going to be a train wreck. And you're waiting
Mhm.
for the
Mm.
first inkling of something to say, wasn't I right? See?
Wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Instead, you
Yes.
say, I am ready
Lovely.
to give myself to this experience.
Isn't
I'm going
Yes.
to
that
silence
Go
my
awesome?
That
all
mobile
in.
part.
Yes, yes.
devices. I'm going to eat my candy. I'm going to say my last
Yes.
things to my friend. And I'm going to be
Yes.
in this
In the
moment.
moment.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yes.
And I love when I go with really no expectations
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and come
Hmm.
out and having seen something so amazing.
Yeah.
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 Like
I
Yeah.
it that
agree.
was the thing with Back to the Future. I'm like, it's a
Mm.
cute movie, whatever. I didn't expect it to be so
So,
fun.
Yep.
Funny. Yeah.
It was so
yeah.
much
Every
fun. I'm
time
like,
the
when
DeLorean
the car,
flew,
I'm like,
it was
Yes.
it was
Yes.
such
But
an
when he was going up the
Magic.
experience.
steps,
Did
yes,
he
not
was
know what
yes.
to
It was
expect.
I
magic.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I love it.
the screen when he was going up the
He was going
clock,
up the
It was
Yep.
yes.
brilliant. It was
everything
brilliant.
was
Yes. All of that.
wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
And I
Right.
think
wonderful.
I think initially when it came to Broadway, there was a lot of criticism saying that
Mm.
people are just there for the car. Like the story is, you know, when it's a film first, you
Right.
have
Yeah.
to you have to think about how you're going to tell this story
Mm-hmm.
musically, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Hmm.
it won't follow the same path that the movie
Right.
Right.
did, but
Right.
it
Right. Right.
will have all of those elements. So
Yes,
Right.
you're in the
Right.
world,
Right.
but you're thinking about it differently. Like
Hmm.
Beetlejuice does a good job of that. Like
I
Absolutely.
it's
agree.
not the premise of
Hmm.
the movie where it's the
Right,
Madeline's house that's being
Mm-hmm.
possessed.
right.
Right.
Instead, the musical is about
Yeah.
Beetlejuice's relationship with Delia.
Yeah,
Hmm.
And
And
that's
so all
true.
of those other things are still there. But if you
Right.
notice, Delia and
oh,
Beetlejuice are the focus in
oh,
that. And so
Right.
when you think about how the story's told differently, you're great. But like when it's something that is a cult classic and
Oh,
you're like, oh, this got a
mm,
can you
hold on
tell
me.
them not to make
mm.
Purple Rain?
Is it in the works?
Yeah.
I feel
Yes.
like I think I did hear something like that. I
oh,
know.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
like, I
so
don't
yeah,
know. I mean, we
yeah,
felt kind of odd about MJ, and MJ is
mm,
killing it.
but
That's
yeah,
that
true.
wasn't a movie. That was his
His
life. Like
life.
like
yeah.
like
That's
it's
true.
not like Dirty Dancing on
Yeah.
stage. Like
W- Well,
Yeah.
maybe they won't tell the movie as clearly. Perhaps
Yeah,
they'll find some other
yeah,
way
About his life.
to
Yeah.
still be in the world, but also,
yeah. Some
I
people
I
are
think that
very
that's kind of
gifted in telling it because, like, you watched The Bodyguard and you assumed it was to be
that was
the
like being at a
movie,
concert
Eh,
though. That was
but it was so
amazing.
beautiful how they did it. So I think some people get it right and some people don't. But even still, we still just take it in. We're like, it was entertaining. And I
yeah.
never tried to, and I tried because I think it's so important
I
not to drag anything.
Purple Rain was the first concert I ever went to.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I was
yes,
we didn't go to concerts as kids, but that was the first concert I
yeah.
ever went to because I loved Prince.
I
And we were
remember
So
behind
she's
the
watching.
stage.
biased. So she's
Yeah,
biased,
yeah.
clearly.
I
Yes.
had
Very
everything.
biased.
I'm like,
I was too young to go to the concert, but I feel like I saw Purple Rain all the time.
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
Like,
oh
you
I
yeah.
know,
watch it all the time. Between
yeah.
that and Neverending Story, those are like my
Oh
repeats.
wow,
Mm.
love it. Love it.
Oh my
All right,
goodness, I love
nostalgia.
it.
Okay. I know we gotta find
Oh,
now we gotta craft a movie night.
oh, there you
Yes,
go. Listen, listen.
Let's
yes.
get one
Tonight,
of the theaters to borrow their
yes,
space so we can play Never Ending Story.
yes. I
That
made
would be
Please.
popcorn, and we're
fun.
gonna watch Strange Magic, Ella and I tonight. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun. Yes, our musical and a little TV.
Well,
Love it.
that's awesome. I'm so glad we had this chat, and I
Oh
really
my
hope
gosh.
that you think about coming back, maybe quarterly, or just in a moment to like talk about
Absolutely.
what you've seen and what
Absolutely.
you're looking forward to seeing. And I'm so glad you're
Absolutely.
out here, like
Mm,
sharing your love of the arts with all of us. It's
thank
just been
you.
wonderful, and that's why I wanted to have you all to chat today. And I
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking the
You light
time
up
to
my
chat
heart
with me.
whenever I
Yes.
see you
Thank
in
you for
theater.
having
So
Thank
us.
thank
Yes.
you.
you.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
Thank
for
you
what
us.
you
so
do.
much,
You're so sweet.
Tara, Nicole, Ella. Thank
Yes.
you so much for chatting with me
Thank
today.
you.
It was truly a pleasure, and
Oh,
we did not forget Rozzy and Dar
yes.
who aren't
Yes.
with
Oh,
us
Yes,
today.
yes,
yes.
yes,
But
Yes.
all Dem Bruce Gals, you can follow
yes,
them
Yes.
on Instagram, Dem Bruce
Yes.
Gals, and
yep.
Yes.
if you're at an opening night or probably like a
Say
preview leading
hi.
to opening, you will
Yes,
probably
Yes.
see
please
them.
say hi.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And we will definitely have another chat soon.